sometimes it's not even demons that you're battling up against. It's your own flesh, your own.
This is teaching for women. So the Bible tells us what God's love is and how to love him. It's not a feeling. Your emotions actually deceive you more than help you a lot, especially if you're a woman. We are way more easily deceived than men are. And throughout the Bible, it tells you exactly how to love Jehovah. And it's 1 John chapter 5, for this is how we know we love the children of God, when we love God. For this is the love of God, to keep his commandments, and his commandments aren't grievous. The only way you can know God and he know you is to keep his commandments. That's what the Bible tells us. John 14, Yeshua told the disciples, if you love me, keep my commandments. And I pray to the Father to send you another comforter, the Spirit of truth, that's going to teach you all things. And those that don't keep my sayings don't love me. But those that keep his sayings have the love of the Son and the Father. His commandments that he gave you, Yeshua, in Matthew 22, were commandments that were already given from the beginning. You can read 2 John chapter 1, that will tell you that. I didn't write a new commandment unto you, woman, but one that was given from the beginning, to love one another and walk after the commandments. If you don't know what was prophesied of the Messiah, then you won't know this. Deuteronomy 18, verse 15 through 19. Jehovah was going to raise up a prophet from amongst them. He was going to speak through his son. He was going to send him in Jehovah's name, Yahushua, Yeshua, Jehovah's salvation. Not a man-made Greek, made-up, hippie Jesus guy that has nailed his righteousness to the cross and taught you that the grace of God is lasciviousness, unmerited favor. Jude chapter 1, verse 4. For the grace of God that's given to all men in Titus 2 teaches you to deny sin and lusts of this world. It's your conscience. And the Bible tells you can sear your conscience with a hot iron. Grace is divine influence on your heart, G5485. So you can deny sin and lusts of this world. It's his conviction. So you can keep his righteousness, which was Yeshua's first and great commandment that he gave you in Matthew 22, to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. He was quoting Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. Love God with all your heart, soul, and mind means to keep the commandments in your heart. Teach them to your children. When they rise up, when they walk by, when they lay down, bind them on your hands. Don't learn the ways of the heathen round about you and do pagan witchcraft holidays that make you deaf, blind, and not walk in the ways of the Lord. Psalms 115, 135. Those that put their trust in them. It says not to worship him with your hands. Jeremiah 10. Don't cut a tree out from the forest. Bring it into your house and nail it down so it doesn't topple over. And deck it with silver and gold. But worship him in spirit and in truth, his spirit of grace given to all men, listening to his divine influence, his conviction on your heart to turn away from your sin, and keep his covenant that his son was prophesied to refresh in Deuteronomy 18, the 10 Commandments. What was desired at Horeb, he was going to raise up a prophet that was going to give them what they desired at Horeb, which is the life-giving water. In Exodus 17, what they thirsted for, what they desired, that they were baptized in under that cloud. In 1 Corinthians 10, Jehovah gave the 10 Commandments with his voice at the rock of Horeb, Deuteronomy 4 through 6. He added no more. Yeshua was prophesied to refresh the Holy Covenant, what they desired at Horeb, and in sacrificial law. The law that was added because they grew impatient when Moses went up on the mountain to receive those 2 tables of stone with the 10 Commandments on them. The contract they just made, they grew impatient and made a calf, breaking his covenant, worshiping another god, doing idolatry. So they were given the 600 and some laws as a punishment until the seed should come, which the promise was made, Yeshua, in Galatians 3:19. His first and great commandment is the love of God in 1 John chapter 5. And that's how you love him, and that's how you love the Son. And if you love them, then you'll keep those commandments, and that includes his Sabbath. Dawn Saturday to dawn Sunday is the fourth commandment. Out of those 10 commandments, it's the fourth one. And he set that commandment apart from the others. He set it aside and made it a perpetual covenant in Exodus 31, verse 16 through 18. It's his sign, Jehovah's sign between him and his children. Hebrews chapter 4 tells you that the Sabbath day didn't change, and those that don't enter into his rest have unbelief. For if Yeshua had given them rest, wouldn't he have spoken of another day? Therefore there remains a rest for the people of Jehovah, and to enter into it. Yeshua's second commandment he gave you to love your neighbor. He was quoting Leviticus 19:15 through 18. To do righteous judgment by Jehovah's righteousness, which is Yeshua's first commandment he gave you to keep the 10 commandments. That's Jehovah's righteousness. Judge by the 10 commandments. Rebuke your neighbor so they don't suffer sin upon them, because sinners don't enter into the kingdom. They're the whoremongers, the adulterers, the murderers, and those that loveth to make a lie. And like John 14 talks about, the Holy Ghost is not given to the world, but because they neither seek him or know him. The Holy Ghost is only given to those who obey and love him and keep his commandments. And they don't know him because in 1 John chapter 2, it says, this is how we know him, when we keep his commandments. And those that say they know him and keep not his commandments are liars, and the truth is not in them. The Spirit of truth, his Holy Ghost, is not in them. Revelations 22 verse 14, blessed are they who keep his commandments, that they have right to the tree of life and are able to enter into the gates of the kingdom. Those that are the whoremongers, adulterers, murderers, and those who love it to make a lie. They love it to make a lie. They love doing their Jeremiah 10 Christmas and Jeremiah 4:7-44, worshiping Queen of Heaven. They bake cakes to every Easter. Pagan idolatry that makes them blind, deaf, and not walk in the ways of the Lord, because they break his first, second, and seventh commandment. They commit adultery on the Father. Mixing the profane with the holy, you're not supposed to do that. Deuteronomy 12 says, don't ask how they worship their gods so you can learn how to worship their gods. Jeremiah 10, don't learn the ways of the heathen. Turn back to your first love, Hosea 2:2. Don't wear a cross. Plead with your mother to remove the adulteries between her breasts. The cross, the image made onto the beast in Revelation 13 and Isaiah 44. The workman that stretched out his ruler, marks it with a line, makes the image of a man according to the beauty of a man. And every church building has a cross on it. That's why the whole world is deceived. Satan convinced them to make an image onto the beast. He convinced people that his grace is lasciviousness, unbridled lust, shamelessness, wantedness, that you can be a sinner, and when you come before the Lord, you're shameless because you are splashed with water and you ask for the Lord to enter in your heart, when that's not how you receive the Holy Ghost. The Bible only tells you in John 14 and Acts 5:32 how to receive the Holy Ghost, and that's to keep his commandments. We're supposed to eat clean too. This is the The Noah covenant in Genesis 6 through 9, it's perpetual.